We're live. We are live. Okay. This is the second part two of healing your womb, how to heal your womb naturally. And today I'm going to be talking about herbal therapy, homeopathy, and what you all need to do in order to heal your wombs. And yes, I'm coming on a little bit early. Because I have a Tai Chi session. And I didn't realize, I was like, oh my God, I said 4 o'clock. But I have a Tai Chi session at 4:30. So, of course, if people can't join now, that is fine. It is available for replay on YouTube. So let's talk about it. Last week, we're going to do a bit of review. So last week, I talked to y'all on how fibroids are formed, how these cysts, these tumors are formed. And it's basically from taking in synthetics. So we take in what I love how Layla Africa puts it. Rest in peace, ancestor. He says you're taking in manure. You're actually taking in these cooked foods, this manure that has already been cooked before the body gets to it, so it recognizes it as waste. So the body now wants to get rid of this waste. And how does it do that? Well, it travels through different areas seeking soft tissue. When it finds the soft tissue, it's trying to release the waste. And of course, your womb starts to heat up. It heats up the waste. The waste begins to rot. When the waste rots, it stiffens or it becomes hard. And once it becomes hard and you get the stiffening up, that is your cyst, your tumor, or your fibroid. Okay. And sometimes you have these, well, not sometimes, but all the time, you have these cells that's coming in to try to, heal these areas, and these nerve endings will get trapped in there. And that's where you get your subcutaneous fibroids that have these nerve endings in there. It looks like a tree branch and it's attached. And when it moves, you get this vibration. It's kind of like a pulsating energy in it, and that's the contracting and release of these nerve endings. And when you feel that, these movements of those nerve ending and the fibroid twists and turns, and that's the cramping that we feel. And so that was a little bit of background information of what we discussed on last Friday. So this Friday, I told you all we're going to go into herbal therapy. But I want you all to understand, homeopathic remedies, herbal therapy does not work unless you work. I do not suggest anybody doing any herbal remedies if you are not cleaning up your diet. Don't expect the herbs to come and be a magician, because a lot of people have the thought process that because we have taken in so much synthetics and medications, and we have the thought processes that these herbs are going to come in and they're going to, and I don't even like saying work magic, but they're going, and what medicines do is they actually numb your nerves. All right. They're numbing nerve endings. Okay. They're not actually healing anything. Homeopathy gets to the root. It actually looks at your life force. It looks at the energy that resides within you. It goes to the causal level. What is causing it at the life force level, at your overall life force? Because from the life force springs emotions, and it springs physical issues and diseases that come from that. All right. So it's not just, oh, I don't feel good, and we're just going to treat the symptoms, all right? Because that's what allopathic medicine does. It just treats symptoms. It can put a Band-Aid on symptoms. If you go and you say, hey, my stomach hurts, well, they're going to give you something so it would deaden or numb the senses in the digestive tract area, so you're not having that pain in that area. Or if you're nauseated and you're feeling nauseous, then it's going to numb that area so you don't feel nauseous. But it's not actually getting to the root. They're not asking, okay, what is the cause of this? It's not like traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, where they're actually looking to see at the life force level, at the causal level, what is going on. Because once we look and see what's going on at the life force level of what has been done, then we can actually see, what's the imbalances? Let's say that. Once we see where the imbalances are and where the disharmonic energy is at the causal level, at your life force, then you can see why you'll have some disruption in different parts of your organs, or why you have this headache, or why you have your stomach being upset, or why you've acquired reproductive system issues. Okay, so it starts at the causal level, and once the life force is not in a good rhythm, or it's not harmonic, it's in a disharmonic state, then it shows outwardly. All right, it was just like, it's just like somebody who, let's look at child. I'm an educator. Look at children who have a bad upbringing, or they have a bad situation that's going on at home. There's no harmony, there's no peace at home. They may not have any food. Lights may be out. Parents may be fighting, or they've experienced some type of trauma. Well, they come to school and they're not engaged. They don't want to do their work. They don't want to, do any assignments. They may use profanity or go off on the teachers or go off on their other students. And this is just an outward effect, because at the causal level is from the trauma that's experienced at home. It has nothing to do with any of the students that they may be going off on, or the teacher that they may cuss out. It has nothing to do with none of them. All right. This has everything to do with what's happening at the source level, at the home base. All right. What has been going on at home? So once we can heal home, once we heal ourselves at the base level, at the life force level, then that's when we'll see it come out outwardly. Just like the child, they're only pushing out outwardly what's going on at home. When they have a bad home foundation, then they push out that same energy that they're getting at home. All right. So when our life force is disrupted and it's not in harmony, then all the rest of the organs in the body receives that information. Okay. So that's the easy way that we can look at it. So how do we clean all of this up? How do we get to where someone who is having heavy menstrual bleeding and PMS, headaches and cramps, and they are just completely they're over it. They hate, their time of the month. They're even after that time of the month, they may have mid-month or mid-menstrual bleeding. And some people don't just bleed, they hemorrhage, like they're actually releasing out a lot of blood. So you're in pain. You have these heavy cycles, headaches. It's almost like your entire world shuts down during this time of the month. So what can you do? So what we talked about last week, and we went into it, and I also have me some notes. I can make sure there are quite a few things I want to go over with you all. What we have to do first is switch our diets. We have to understand that herbal therapy, just like I said before, is not a Band-Aid. It's not like allopathic Western medicine where you go and you get a pill for a quick fix. Herbal remedies are introducing at a similar level the type of issue that you're dealing with in smaller doses, so the body can actually work to heal itself. Okay? It's not introducing anything that's outside of the frequency of what's going on with your body. So if you are having a fever, then you would take maybe an herb that would also slightly, very slightly increase your fever. So the body would innately work hard to heal whatever is going on with your temperature and make an adjustment so your temperature is back into balance of whatever that issue is. There's just one explanation. But that's what we're looking at with herbs. So don't look at homeopathy or herbal therapy and natural remedies as a Band-Aid. That's something I want people to understand. Do not look at herbal therapy as a Band-Aid. It is not like Western medicine. It's not like going to the doctor and getting a prescription filled, and then 2 minutes later, all the pain is gone. You have to understand it's a process. And I always tell people when you're doing herbs, you have to be consistent with them. And at least 14 days, you have to give yourself at least consistent 14 days or more of being on your herbal therapy. You're not supposed to be, oh, I forgot to tell, oh, I didn't take it this week. And then you expect when you take it, get back on next week, that everything's going to be all perfect and magical and done. No, it doesn't work like that. And aside from that, your nutrition has to be cleaned up. We cannot continue to eat sugar, white breads, white rice, all these starchy synthetic foods, a lot of food with uric acid in it, a lot of meats, vinegar. We can't be taking a lot of, my hair's sticking out. We can't continue to take a lot of medications like Tylenol. And I understand people are on medication, and I'm not telling you to get off medication, but do understand you need to have that communication with your doctor and let them know, hey, I'm looking into a more holistic approach to my health, and I am looking into herbal therapy, and there are some herbs that I'll be taking, and share them with them, because just like medications, there are contraindications with herbs as well. So if you are on medications, your doctor needs to know. And first and foremost, you are your first doctor. I said that before. You all are your first doctor. So you need to make sure that whatever medications you're taking, just say you're taking lisinopril, you need to look at what contraindications lisinopril would have with saw palmetto. You need to know this first for yourself. All right? You need to know. So we're going to go into, I'm going to talk about different herbs. Oh, also in the link, as you all can see in the chat, I have put my link tree. If you all are interested in any other services that I offer, I also have a Lose Belly Fat in 7 Days ebook that I've taken the time to go day by day for 7 days straight on everything you need to do. So all you have to do is just go exactly by the book as it gives you and follow the steps, and you will lose. Guaranteed to lose belly fat. Guaranteed to lose inches off the waistline. Guaranteed. Hands down. I've done it with clients. They've lost. I've done it with myself. It has happened. All right. So it is a guaranteed proven method in order for you to lose belly fat effectively, efficiently, and naturally. All right. We're not looking into doing any type of surgeries. For those of you all who want to do things more holistic and you're looking for a more holistic approach to your health, that is what I'm offering. I offer a holistic approach to your health. Okay. And that's what you'll get. So over on my link tree, you also can find out about different offerings I'm going to have coming up. Of course, I'm going to have a coaching process coming up really soon. So you'll have coaching sessions where we can be one-on-one, and it's a customized coaching approach for anybody who wants to take this and have it customized specifically for them and their issues. Okay. So what I'm going to give you today is going to be very ambiguous. Okay. It's going to be very, just these are the herbs. There's no specific time and days, and I'm going to tell you to take it. There's no prescription on how many times. It's not QID. Take it, 4 times a day, or TID. Take it 3 times a day. I'm not giving any prescription on how you should take it, because whenever you do homeopathy, there is a process in order to know each one of your patients. And I can't give one specific remedy for one person. Okay. So I have to know a little bit more about the patient and what the symptoms are. And as you all start to receive the emails, please respond back to the emails. Let me know, because I want to hear more from you all on how you're doing, what's going on, how your cycles are, how you've connected to your reproductive system, or if you're having issues with your reproductive system, what it looks like, so we can work collectively together in order to get you to a healing state. But again, the individual dosage that you'll need for these herbs cannot be given. So what I'm offering you all today is going to be the herbs that you would want to get to start off. And if you want consultation, you definitely can go to the website for a consultation and book a consultation session so I can give you more information specifically. Consultations are for 1 hour, and I can give you information specifically on what you need to do based on your homeopathic remedy for your person. But I cannot, there's no way because this is the audience. I don't know who I'm speaking to specifically. And it's just like going to the doctor's office. Like we can tell everybody to, your doctor may tell you, hey, they may give a, generalized, I would say a generalized prescription for everybody to exercise and eat healthy. And then it gets more in depth because exercise and eating healthy for one person could be 3 times a week, and eating healthy for them could be, a high calorie diet because they have a high metabolism and they may need more protein and carbs. And for somebody else, it may not have as much, and they may have a thyroid issue, or they may be diabetic, and then they may have knee issues and back pain or family history of different things. So their exercise plan, nutrition plan look a little bit different. So this is not tailored by any means for anybody. So I want you all to know that. So we look into healing the womb. Now, I don't know where your placements of your fibroids are, but let's first look at just healing the womb and healing the fallopian tubes. So if you're healing your fallopian tubes, if you have fibroids that are attached on the fallopian tubes and you want to start the healing there, because of course the fallopian tubes hold the ovaries, then you would start off with the burdock root and your saw palmetto. Okay, so your burdock root and your saw palmetto. Now, if you're having pain, if you're having really bad cramps, or you just have, even when you're not on your cycle, you cramp and you have pain, you just in pain. Now, this wasn't an issue that I've ever had with my cycles while I had fibroids, but I do know women who have really bad cramps and they have bad headaches, or they experience pain in different areas of the body. They may have, their leg may start hurting real bad or twitching and different issues like that. So when we're looking at pain, we want to look at healing that pain. We're looking at comfrey, COMFREY. Okay. Mullein is good for the mucous membrane tissue, and it keeps the uterus nourished. So mullein would be good to add to any one of these herbs. All right. Having this, and again, clean up the diet first. Do not put these herbs on top of Burger King, Taco Bell, and all of that. Okay. You cannot do that. So clean up the diet first. Now, before you go into any herb, you have to do a stimulation. We stimulate the pineal gland. How do we stimulate the pineal gland? Well, it's different herbs like ginkgo biloba, gotu kola, or St. John's wort. That gets the pineal gland stimulated so that the herbal therapy will hold. Okay, so you're going to have to do one of those. I've done St. John's. I've done all 3 of them. I've done ginkgo biloba. I've done St. John's wort. I've also done the ginkgo biloba in conjunction with the chase tree berry. And I'm going to talk to you all about the chase tree berry and the red raspberry leaf because I've done both of those. And I'm going to tell you they are very, very good. All right. So the ginseng, if you find out your energy is low, if you're not having really good energy, your energy levels, like you're tired throughout the day, you just, you're drained, and rightfully so. If you are someone who's having these heavy cycles and all of their fluid is being released out of you. And we should only release about 3 to 5 tablespoons of blood. And that's going to be your cellular debris and mucus. So the pineal stimulation, again, that would be your gotu kola, that ginkgo biloba, and that's going to increase your blood flow to the pineal gland. And that's going to hold your herbal therapy. And that's what we want to do. We want to hold the herbal therapy. Also for pain, white willow. White willow would be for pain, comfrey, pain, and also healing. So those 2 are good. Now, going on to... where's my list? Here we go. All right. So In conjunction with doing that, of course, we want to stimulate the pineal gland. We want to make sure that, we have a good foundation for the herbal therapy to hold. And the comfrey and the, what did I tell you? The white willow. Yeah. The white willow and the comfrey is going to be for your pain. Now, let's look at these other herbs. Now, when I first found out that I had fibroids, and this was before I even went to the doctor, my spirit knew I had fibroids. It was something in me was like, this is fibroids. So I initially went and got some chase tree berry, and that was like what I was on before I even went to the doctor to get checked out. And for them to tell me I had fibroids, like a month, it was about 2 months before then, I started taking chase tree berries just every day. I was consistent with taking the chase tree berries. And that could be possibly a reason why when I went to get checked out, then my doctor told me they were necrotic. So the chase tree berry, and I had already been doing red raspberry leaf. And we're going to talk about that shortly. But let me go back. Now, these are some herbs that you need to do. And I can't give you the exact prescription on how you should take these herbs, but these herbs are really for helping to degenerate your fibroids. Okay. So sheep sorrel, and doing sorrel tea. I know when I'm in Jamaica, they do a lot of sorrel tea. You're going to do a lot of hibiscus and sorrel tea. And any tea, when you see the herb is going to tell you what it's going to do for you just by the color of it. It's going to tell, just like with the red raspberry leaf. It's red raspberry. That has to deal something with the blood. All right. So that's something that helps it's a female herb. It's going to help your reproductive system. And even like the hibiscus, it's red. It's good. The sorrel. So burdock, dandelion, red clover. Of course, I said saw palmetto, echinacea, golden seal, and chickweed. That echinacea golden seal, that has been a staple of mine since I've been about 12 years old. My daddy started giving me echinacea and golden seal at 12, and it helps a variety of things. And it's also seen as antibiotic. The golden seal is seen as an antibiotic. So when you do golden seal, this is one thing I definitely want to tell you, because it's seen as an antibiotic, do not do more than 2 weeks with golden seal. So if you're someone that gets with me that needs more of a one-on-one coaching, then I'll tell you exactly what parts of these herbs you need to do in conjunction with the lifestyle that you're going to have to change to help clean up your diet and clean up your womb. But these are the herbs that you need to get. And you can go to your local herbal store, Botanica, get any one of these. All right. Also, St. John's wort. I did St. John's wort in college, and it's good for stabilizing your mental levels, like the stressor. So if you have any stress, like I get really stressed out when I have to take a test, so it relieves you of any types of stressors. So it's a mood stabilizer. Okay. It really stabilizes your mood and your energy. I love it. So some women, and I'm saying that because I know, and even for me, when I first found out I had fibroids, my mind was like, oh my God, why me? I just started to feel this depression energy rightfully so, we feel like that when something that's not favorable is told to us about ourselves, about our health, especially as a woman, about your womb. You don't want to hear, just like a woman don't want to hear they get cancer, they don't want to hear they have breast cancer. Like all of that brings about a state of depression, or it puts this stress on the mind. So St. John's wort is really good for relieving those states and putting the mind back into harmony and balance. So for any of you all who are dealing with stress, any stressors that have to deal with the reproductive system, or you're trying to have a baby and you're just not your womb isn't fertile, you're having issues with the fibroid, getting pregnant, get some St. John's wort so it can be a mood stabilizer, so you can get in the energy of making the uterus a frequency or a vibratory unit in conjunction with your husband, so you all can be in harmony to create that frequency you need in your uterus to conceive. All right, so you can't conceive under stress. You can't be stressed out about what's going on in your womb and these fibroids and thinking you're gonna just lay down and have sex and magically a baby gonna come. You have to create the energy and the frequency. There's a frequency and a vibration that the uterus holds. Then when you're connected to your partner, your mate also has this frequency. And then the frequency of that union, the sperm, all right, and the scrotum, they relate to that. They release through that, and they all are moving in that vibration. All right. So yeah, think about having that frequency and that vibration in your uterus, and knowing that whatever frequency and vibration you're in, that's what you're also sharing with your partner, your spouse, your husband. And again, that goes into the mindset. Again, stabilizing, we're working on the life force. With homeopathy, we're getting to the causal effect. And then also, it depends, especially if you're trying to have a child, what your husband is intaking, what his sperm is like, also plays a part in it as well. Okay, he plays just as much of a part in it as you do. Both of you are co-creators in creating a baby, creating a fertile womb space. So if he's having a lot of toxicity in, if he's smoking a lot of cigars and cigarettes or alcohol or cannabis and all of that, and he's not eating a holistic diet at least 80% of the time, like I said, you all start at 60 and every 2 weeks try to increase it to where you're pretty much putting in nothing but whole foods, nuts, grains, and seeds. So if he's not actively participating in that too, that can also be a reason why you're not conceiving. Okay, so moving forward. Now, in conjunction with these herbs, the list that I just gave you, want to combine that with either the red raspberry leaf or the chaste tree berries. For me, I did a lot of chaste tree berry capsules because it was easy for me to do the chaste tree berry capsules. But in conjunction with this, when I made this in the tea, when I created the tea, it would be with the red raspberry leaf because I would do red, and I always have red raspberry leaf. And for anyone that said, hey, maybe for you right now, changing your diet is a bit much. You need more help. You need more coaching. Again, like I said before, you can go to my website, missfitnessdiva.com, if you need a consultation. And then again, I am offering coaching for those who need 101 customized, take you by the hand, give you the plan. If you're one of those people where you need to know, what to do exactly. Because you need to know in what parts do you take all of these herbs. Do you take all these herbs all at one time? What days do I need to take these herbs, and of how much? And in conjunction with the red raspberry leaf or the chaste tree berry, in what parts do I do that? So you want to reestablish a healthy environment, all right, for your uterus. So the red raspberry or the chaste tree berry, in conjunction with those herbs that I gave you, is going to help shrink your fibroids. It's going to help them to become necrotic. But none of this works. None of this works if your diet is not in harmony with the herbs. You cannot just take the herbs and thinking that it's going to be all good. And then you can go to McDonald's and you be like, oh, I took my chaste tree berries, but I'm finna go give me a 2 for 2. It doesn't work like that. So if you don't see your body healing, if you don't see your fibroids degenerating, and you haven't put in the work, well, you know why. Now let's look at the foods. You need to have fresh fruit. You also want to lightly steam the fruit because some of these fruits have been fertilized. They've been in some type of fertilizer and want to get rid of the phosphate. So you want to slightly steam them. Melons, you want to increase your fresh fruit. You want to increase your melons. You also want to have sea vegetables, spelt. All right. So, and drinking distilled water. Okay, distilled water is what you want to have because it has just, if you can envision the distillation process, and I have it clearly in my mind because I took chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry, chemistry 1 and 2, biology 1. I took all of these science courses with the labs, and we had to go through a distillation process. Well, if you see the distillate, this tube, and the distillation, it has another that has this other tube. It has this other oh God, it escapes my mind. But you have this other bottle at the end that has this bulb at the bottom, and it catches, it distills any impurities. So you have two at each end, and once it distills and purifies, it's removing the impurities. You receive the water at the end. That's the pure water that has the contaminants or any of the impurities taken out. And that's what you have in the distilled water. Your body also goes through a distillation process. So it's good to drink the distilled water because you're taking some of the pressure off of what the body has to do. So the body won't have to go through trying to distill. You drinking spring water or you drinking, just regular tap water, and the body has to go through trying to do the distillation process with this water, and then you eating whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then you're trying to throw in herbs with it and the fruit, but no, okay? So I want you all to understand there's a clear-cut path to your healing. All right, there's a clear-cut path to your healing. And next week, we're going to talk about what happens when your fibroids shrink and they remove themselves out of your womb. What will you see? How does it feel? All right, so you can kind of be aware of when your fibroids become necrotic. Will you know? When they shrink, how do you know without going to your doctor? What are some symptoms of knowing that everything is working for you? Okay, so we're going to go through that because let me see. So next week is what? Next Friday is the 15th. Yeah, so we're looking at next Friday. We're going to look at how do we get these? How do we get these out? What does it look like to get these removed out of you naturally without the surgery? All right. The week after that, I want to go over with people who have had a UFE or a hysterectomy on what they can do to still have a healthy womb. And for those who have had a UFE, on what they can do when they start to see the fibroid come back again. I've had clients who've had the UFE and then the fibroids have come back. That's the causal level. Because again, we have to go to the causal level. We have to go to the life force. We have to balance and make ourselves in harmony and at peace at the life force level. And if you're not changing what you're eating, but you just want to get this taken out, but you still are housing an unharmonic frequency within your womb and within your nature, you're still stressed, you still have tension, you still have all of this. So we're going to go deeper into that from a homeopathic standpoint and what it looks like. But now that you have your herbs on what you need to take and what you need to get started on, those are some things that you need to make sure that you work on acquiring these herbs so you can help heal your womb space. All right. So, next week we're going to look at what does it look like when these fibroids or these cysts pass, right? What can we look for when we see these fibroids or these cysts pass? And also what it looks like, internally. What do you feel like? What does it look like when it comes out? How do you know when they degenerate, when they shrink? How will we know all of these things? What are some things that we are to look for so we know? And this is one of the things that I want to know. So I went into doing some research. So I will definitely share with you because it was happening to me. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't know this was going on. Okay, so nobody told me. My doctor didn't warn me. I couldn't find it anywhere. And this is what was going on. So I'm going to share with you all on that on next Friday. And as of now, hopefully I'll be back on at 4 o'clock, but I'm not sure if I have to teach another Tai Chi class or not next Friday. I don't think I do, because 4 o'clock works really great for me. But I had to go on definitely an hour and a half earlier today. But you did get the information. You can go back, listen to it, get your list of herbs. Make sure that list of herbs, you're doing it in conjunction with the female herb, which is the chase tree berries, and the red raspberry. Okay, so the chase tree berries and the red raspberry. Chase tree berries, just like I had them. I got them, one of our markets here, health markets, and I had it in a small capsule, and I was taking that. And what I did was I doubled up on my dosage as well, because I felt like, and this was what I was feeling like, that it had been aggressive because it was a knot there. And so I was like, if it's pursuing me, then I'm going to aggressively pursue it and get rid of it. So I aggressively added on to the dosage that they recommended. So that was just what I needed to do. But also, you all do your necessary research. If you're on medications and you want to go with this herbal therapy, share with your primary care physician or your OBGYN or whomever you're going to. I don't know, what medications you're on or what you're taking or what issues you have. So definitely share your new lifestyle of taking it the natural medicine or a naturopathic medicine route, or see if it's possible, if you want to do integrative, and talk with your doctor about doing more integrative medicine, so you can work with the herbal therapy remedies along with your homeopathy. And we're going to talk as well next week. I want to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to share with you all Healing the Errors of Living. I'm going to share with you all more on that book by Ra Nefer Amen that has really helped me, that has been a guiding light. And I'm going to share with information from that book with you, because you won't be able to get it. It's not offered on Amazon or anywhere. So it'll have to be something that I share with you, because you won't be able to. Unfortunately, you can't get it. And I was able to get it through an inside source. So I'm very thankful for that. So I'm going to share with you all more on Healing the Errors of Living, so you can understand how the way that we live excessively, because we live in an excessive world where more is always better. So we'll excessively drink alcohol. We excessively have sex. We excessively, drink coffee, every day, 2 and 3 cups of coffee, just burning out the nervous system. We're just burning it out. We excessively give ourselves sexually, and we're just burning out our reproductive system. We're just burning out, areas of our body that we need to be bringing more energy into. So we're going to go over that on next week as well. I'm going to have the Healing the Errors of Living. And he talks about how we do it through homeopathy, but also through music, frequencies, and sounds. And that is also what we're getting ready to go into as well, because we're going to talk about, how we utilize sound. How do we utilize frequency? And remember, I just talked to you all that the uterus has a frequency. And that frequency, when you're engaging in intimacy and in the intimate act with your partner, your frequency of your uterus is also shared with his frequency. And that whole dance and that energy and that vibration of that movement and that frequency is taken and is traveled to the sperm. And then the sperm come through to match the frequency of the uterus and swims up, so it can be able to attach and go into an egg, so you can create. So if we are not aware of what our bodies are doing, then we're not aware of what we can do to heal our bodies. Okay? If we don't have any thought process on what the body is doing, then we can't have a thought process on how to heal our bodies. And that's very important. We have to know how to heal ourselves. So thank you so much. If you tuned in, again, you can reach me at Instagram, themissfitnessdiva. Also follow me on Facebook, Miss Fitness Diva. And if you're interested in purchasing Lose Belly Fat in 7 days, my new ebook, go to Linktree, the Miss Fitness Diva on Linktree. And also, I put the link, I pinned the link here in the chat. And if you have any questions or something you want me to address, send me an email at themissfitnessdiva@gmail.com. I'm going to put it here. I definitely want to hear from you all. I do. I definitely want to hear from you all. So share with me. All right. And have a great rest of your day. I hope something that I shared with you today is going to help heal your wound, help release you of fibroids, and get you back on track and harmony with your life force. All right. Peace.